Hey, what's up? It is DJ. Today I have something super special for you guys. I've got 3 interviews with 3 very important people at Giant Software talking about Farming Simulator 25. Stefan Maras, who is the gameplay programmer and lead integrator, Florian Bussi, senior level designer, and Stefan Geiger, CTO and co-founder of Giant Software. They're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff, including the new American map, ground deformation, fog, and a whole lot more. So sit back and relax and enjoy the video.
I'll ask the first question. I was going to ask about the consumables part of your video.
Yeah.
Is that something that you can turn on or off when you purchase the vehicle, or is it an option you can switch on and off? Because I know some people with modded versions that have it don't always like to have it, and some do.
Yeah, we really thought about that. That's why we added an option to quickly fill the tools.
Okay.
So if it's empty, you can also just press a button and then select the consumable you want and then add that.
Okay, so you can go for a more realistic
yeah, in the video you saw that I brought the palette, but you could also just hit the button, and then you can also select the color of the bale wrap you want.
Right, okay.
So does that work in the same way as putting the pallet boxes on the back of the carrot harvester? So like you press R and it automatically
yeah, that's similar, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the GPS system, how does it work? Is it like a worker? You press hire worker when you get to the field and it does it all?
So the JP, we basically split the AI system in 2 parts. So you got the regular AI worker, so as it was before in FS22, just a bit upgraded, and then we got to switch to the GPS steering, so you can choose one of the modes.
Very cool.
And if you switch into the GPS steering mode, you drive onto a field and you get the curves that is generated for you. So that you see the lines like I showed in the video, and then you can press H, the button, to activate it.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's how it works. And if you got the normal AI work mode, you press the button and then it will just automatically do the field. So you get there.
So it's not changing what we're used to, it's adding to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And so can you, when you're generating the courses, I take it there's a screen that you go to and you generate the courses?
No, there's no screen.
Does it automatically?
It's automatic.
So
that was the key point of the new system, to have it as user-friendly as possible. Because we saw that in the past some mods did it quite complex, in my opinion, for some users, especially if you are working or playing on console. It's quite complex to set it up. So we needed a system that is made for everyone.
So you can't control how many headlands there are. It's always 2 headlands and.
There will probably an option for that. So we haven't added it yet, but we prepared the system to support all this, and it's also currently planned. But we're not sure if that's going to be in the first version or if we patch it in later. But
it will calculate the width of your.
Yeah, it uses automatically the width of my tool, and then calculates based on the length, the headlands it needs to have a smooth turn, and then the up down.
From a console perspective, that works exactly the same. PC console,
exactly the
same integration.
Yeah.
Cool. Does also work with custom fields?
Yeah. So that was the main point while developing it, to support it really on mod fields. So we had a bunch of mod maps to develop all the system, and we tested on them and made sure it worked there.
So if you've expanded a field, if you've ploughed 4 fields together, the
doesn't
next
matter.
time you drive into it, it will calculate.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's very cool.
Mind blown, that's it, I'm done.
Yeah.
Can't think of anything else now.
I'm never going to do anything by hand anymore.
You may not be able to answer this, but we saw the MacDon pack swathing.
Yeah.
Are there any other pieces of equipment that
In the
swap?
MacDon pack?
Or base game? Because I know the MacDon pack is pre-order bonus.
Yeah, so we have in the base game this MacDon FD250 that I showed in the video. So that's available as New Holland version, case version, and MacDon version. So
That's the big header.
yeah, that's the big one, the 50-foot header. So with the
There's no other swathing.
no, so that's the only spot thing we have. So
Okay.
only one header that is I think 12 meters width.
Okay. So the MacDon tractor have to have that to swap.
Yeah. So it's like a special header for this part, because the middle section of the header is quite different to a regular header, because it needs to just put it on the ground. So as you could also see in the video, really good.
So as far as it goes with the modded maps moving forward, from modders making their own maps, they can integrate the GPS and AI system onto their map fields.
They don't need to integrate it.
It just automatically.
It's just automatically they drive on the field on their mod map and it
So
will
they just
automatically
do
work.
it anyway.
So yeah, that was our goal, that you don't have to generate something for your map manually and everything. So yeah, I spent quite some hours on that system to get it to work like it is now. But yeah.
Are you able to create rice paddies for yourself? The flooded fields?
Yeah, you can create them. Yeah, yeah. Manu explained it in the gameplay presentation. It's like the defense tool we have. So where you click on the map on multiple points and it will generate a fence. But now it's then a rice field. Yeah.
Very cool.
So
Of course, you have some limitations with the slope, so it should be flat. There's some threshold. But it will then after that flatten the field, so it can flood it properly. But yeah, that's how it's done.
Good way to do it.
That's what's smart.
I like that. The rice pallets.
Yeah, the saplings.
Saplings, yes.
Yeah.
I see we can do them in a greenhouse.
Yeah,
Can we also just buy them?
You can also buy them. Yeah, it was just a great idea. I had sorry to do it with the greenhouses because it adds another depth to that crop because it's not just a standard crop. It's something bigger. You have more intense or a deeper workflow.
Yeah.
We've seen the spinach as the new crop and grown in fields. Are we going to have any special equipment for that?
I cannot answer that.
That's right.
I mean, so far everybody's given us something.
Yeah.
No, I'm messing.
What crops are swappable? Is it the cereal crops?
It's
wheat,
like-
oats,
yeah.
barley?
Yeah,
Canola?
wheat, barley, canola.
What you'd normally expect to
Yeah,
swap.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So a couple of questions I've got. The farmer's market,
Yeah.
it says it's got interactive shelves. How
Yeah.
do those work?
In a way, in a relative simple way. So first, in former versions we don't have a farmer's market with interior. So you came to the farmer's market and you have an unload element and you drive with the trailer and it goes in, yeah. And you have a kind of number which goes high and you see what is in farmer's or what you receive as money in this case, yeah. So now it's a step in a way in between. It is empty in the beginning, and when you drive to that farmers market, or there are two possibilities: you have pallets with, for example, tomatoes out of your greenhouse. This is more smaller stuff in yeah. It's not like a trailer with whatever 100 liters or 1,000 liters of grain or whatever. And when you do that, then partially the baskets and pots are filling with this. You see a kind of fill plane, yeah, technically spoken, and we're working on that. This looks nice. That is a little bit difficult because when you only rise textured plane, yeah, it is maybe not the feeling which we really try to feed in. But it is also difficult to place one tomato, two tomatoes. Yeah, it's also, and you cannot have 40,000 tomatoes placing in all over the place. That makes also no sense. So we must figure that out how we want to realize that. But to have this kind of impression, yeah, now I have to feed 2 pallets of tomatoes, for example, yeah, and something is changing. Yeah, the environment is reacting on you. That is this kind of feeling which we want to produce on that. That you have this kind. You don't need to have a number in a way. Of course, when you want to know it precisely, you get also a number. But you want there's more an intuition which we want to settle down in that thought. That, okay, I bring things, and this thing in a way grows. Mm-hmm.
All right. What's next?
Was it enough for this question?
Yeah, no,
or?
absolutely.
You have a second?
I do have a second.
Yeah.
So the other thing is buildable farmhouses.
Yeah.
Are those farmhouses that the player can that has a sleep trigger, or is it just a building that is sitting on the map that you can go and deliver stuff to? I mean, are they? So my question really is: do we have placeable buildable buildings,
Yeah.
or are they built into the map?
No, you have placeable, buildable buildings, as you said it.
So is it like the roller coaster where you bring stuff to it? And
Yeah,
you
we can compare this, in a way, but it's not, of course, not such a huge amount. Yeah, it's a normal construction work site.
So a gradual build.
Yeah, and you have a certain number of whatever wood or other materials which you need to bring into that, and then you, instead of buying a completely farmhouse for one big price, you have a kind of fragmented price system which depends on what is necessary to deliver, how many does that cost for you, and there's a kind of base price for that. Yeah, so you have this kind of combination, and then you build your own farmhouse, and then this has a sleeping.
Is that something that you would develop more into barns and buildings, not just farmhouses?
Yeah, that would be a marvelous idea. When we don't go that.
No, I was going to say, but
is that something that modders will be able to?
Yeah, I cannot say that from a technical view. I don't know exactly what is really possible, but theoretical, yes, definitely. It's only in a way you can pick this kind of feature of the farmhouse, and then simply rename that thing, in a way, and then when you want to change the graphics, I think that is. In that, when you have this competence and the possibilities to do that and working in 3D modeling, then you can really adjust that. That is my thought about it. I don't know if this is really supported, that modders should expand this feature. It's more, we have that for the players, and other questions will answered by the future.
Thank you.
All right. Next, anyone? Argsy, you got one?
Is the map is a 2 kilometre by 2 kilometre?
Yeah.
That's the same as what we've seen previously?
Yeah, it is like the textures which I spoke before. When you raise the resolution, you raise it not by when you raise it by the double.
Exponentially.
You raise it 4 times. And that is when we would rise the map, and every modder who do such a thing knows exactly what that means. There is such an amount of huge work which you need to place in, and we are, in a way, we want to more expand the variation of our maps instead of making bigger maps. So this allows you our time to invest, for example, in an Asian map, in other map topics, because you need also the research and the understanding of that other region, and that takes also time. Yeah, when we rise from 2 kilometer by 4 kilometer, we cannot do that. That is too much for us. Yeah? And we think that what I think that the modders having this kind of possibility to do that. Yeah, that is their domain. They can escalate that, and even when they do 16 by 16 kilometers, hey guys, show us how you do that. Yeah, it's also inspiring for us. Yeah, because you are having the same problem with the time. Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah. But we want to invest this time in more variation and specific art topics, also features.
Great, thank you.
That's the reason why we stay on 2 by 2 kilometers.
Okay. Anyone else? Map questions?
I know this isn't specific to FS25 or specific to this map, but it's something I've always wondered. Where do you begin when you're given the challenge of putting a new map on a new game? Where do you start?
That is not easy to answer this question. It's a good question because it's every time the same problem. As you,
where do you pick?
The impression of your face now is exactly that impression which I have.
Confusion.
Oh my God, where should I begin? Yeah. And this is the first step. Is I would say I look on the maps which you already have, because we don't want to make a repetitive result. If we, without knowing all titles, the danger is too big that then people say, oh yeah, it looks like Westwood Hills. So that is really what we want to avoid.
Yeah.
So we need also to have a clear eye on our heritage. Yeah, and even I am starting 2016, for example. Yeah, and I must also investigate the maps before. Yeah, so that is a duty which we have, and I think everyone in the company has the same thought. It's the easiest approach because this data is available for you in no time in a way. Yeah. So then it's especially American. We have this joke that I said, for example, hey, let's do a Hawaii map. So yeah, it's the state of the USA, but maybe not that one which the people want to have. Every Hawaii people, I love you, and I want to make a big volcano in the middle of the of the map, and you try to fill it with corn, yeah, and stop blowing up. So, but hey, that is the point. Then we go on that thought. Okay, what is the majority of our players? Where they are sitting? Yeah. Okay. For example, when I began, I was not aware of that thing. Yeah, I was more driven by, hey, what would be really, really cool? What is never been in Farming Simulator before? And then I came to this California topic, especially because in that days we had a feature which should approach that was grapes, and so. Yeah, to make the connection, okay, where we produce grapes in USA, okay, it could be California. But then it turned out, when we released the game, yeah, the Californian people are liking this stuff, but they're really a small amount of our fan base. And so most of them were critic about this, and they are right to be that critic, to be in this critic mood, to show us where we should, really concentrate our focus and our views, and make it happen for the most of our players. That is this kind of difficulty. Okay, be honest, we don't make an Alaska map. I don't want to say it so harshly for all these people who maybe like hey, we also do farming there. Maybe, I don't know, but it's more maybe for forestry. Yeah, then it's more look what is more appropriate in the topic. Maybe when we have other kind of harvesting methods in the future, I cannot say it. Then we came to other topics which is more suitable for certain possibilities in the USA.
You told me a little bit about you started off with Riverbend Springs, and you were looking at the inspiration for it. And originally you were thinking Mississippi, but it was too flat. So then it kind of shifted more to like other parts of the rice belt, right?
Yeah.
Because you needed to allow for the crop to have like more hilly terrain.
Yeah, right? It is. And that is a problem. For example, for the MQ map was the same thought. When you say, okay, go to a specific state, and then took the most common landscape which you found, then you end in, for example, in Iowa, in Hawkeye Point, where it's completely flat when you go in Google Earth and just looking around, and there's a crossing by 2 kilometers and 4 fields. That is the reality. Yeah, and that is my best example for saying, no, it's not about reality, guys. It is about emotion. And of course, it should be authentic. Yeah, and authentic is not reality. Yeah, authentic is to pick the elements which is suitable for a certain area, also, and combine it. We are not scanning a terrain. Yeah. We are not, even when you say we are a simulation game, why we should scan a simple terrain, then we should offer 32 kilometers by 32 kilometers. Then we can do exactly what we do, that there's a grain elevator, and there is a bakery, and there is a sawmill, and so on. But you don't find that on 2 by 2 kilometers, especially not in Iowa. So you must design a feeling of a landscape. And I tried in Elmcreek to find this kind of combination of flat areas and hilly areas. And the hilly areas are more not going hilly in mountains, it's more hilly into the ground. That was this kind of impression of the caves which are there. And also the kind of creeks and graving into the landscape. Yeah? And to find the dynamic of the terrain there. And in Arkansas, for example, there was this extremely hilly and foresty feeling, but that was too much silver and forest. So that was also not appropriate. But it is the kind of in-between landscape between the Mississippi River and this kind of hilly areas. So you can grab this 2 by 2 kilometers in the same way on the Mississippi area, and it's completely flat, yeah, and suitable for rice farming because you must have your rice field which is embedded in water, and of course you cannot do that on a slope, yeah, water runs away. So of course, and we begin with that, and then I thought I want to make the same combination like in Elmcreek, to find this elements of a landscape which are plausible, authentic, and can correspond together. So it's in a way, when you want to make a really harsh critique, you can say, yeah, this is a fantasy map. Yeah? But that is what I think it is necessary to bring the authentic in that thing, beside the boringness of someone which is simple reality, but you must design reality. You must, and you can make the failure that you miss the target. Yeah, that is this big danger which you are confronted with. Yeah? And I hope we did it right.
Okay. Really interested in the fog. There's been a lot of focus on the fog, but how much control will modders and players have around that, or is it based on time of day, type of weather, how much fog there'll be?
So the fog is completely controlled by the game, right? So the players don't really have any influence on the fog. So, but the modders definitely have a lot of control as well to the scripting and the XMLs we have, that you can control the different settings that we provide from the engine.
Okay. That's good. All right. Someone else got a question?
Where should I talk to? Should I talk to the camera?
Oh, just pretend like the camera's not there. It picks up audio everywhere.
Yeah. No, but for the visuals, I mean,
you can look at that.
Oh, no, you're good. It's really just for audio.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to ask about the shadows of vehicles and the merged shadow lights, the picture of the Fendt with the lights projecting forwards. Does a player's character, when you move through, like the God rays, will that be affected by character movement? Will the light be affected with that?
So the God rays only work for the sunlight,
right?
For performance reasons. So we're not taking the shadow information from the local lights into the volumetric lighting.
Okay. But the merged shadow lights, when you show the tractor, if you walk in front of the tractor, will there be any shadow cast by the character? I saw that shot of the light coming off the front of the tractor, and just the first thing that struck me was, would that be a thing? But
well, I mean, basically any object that's there is going to cast a shadow on it. Right?
So that includes the player.
Well,
it includes if you're walking.
Everything that kind of visually is there, yes.
Okay.
And I'll ask because I know someone's going to ask, what do you mean by non-uniform density when it comes to the fog?
Mm-hmm. That means basically in the past, right, we had the option to specify a single plane, how high the fog can go. And we had a distance fog, so that it just gets has a kind of a constant density, so you have more fog in the distance, right? And now we have the option to specify a different density for every position in the world. So we can have those local denser fogs around the water. We can have, based on the terrain evaluation, we can have like different levels of fog. So we can say, well, for example, we should have fog like 1 meter above the ground everywhere. So and also we have that functionality to define fog that's denser in valleys, because usually kind of those particles accumulate within kind of valleys, but they can't move away. And that's what we simulate as well. So it just gives way more dynamic scenes, basically.
Okay.
I was going to ask about the additional mud on tyres. I think it's a fantastic effect to have added in. Is there going to be an animation that comes with that? So as the mud's coming off, will there be an animation of mud coming off, or will it just be a gradual thing that will gradually just disappear?
Well, both, right? So it basically gradually increases, so we can animate that. It's not a binary effect. And we have like particles spawning off when
Brilliant.
falls off, yeah.
Fantastic.
Is it just mud and dirt, or are there other things like gravel or lime fertilizer?
Yeah. Snow.
Yeah, snow. Does it work the same or similar?
Yeah, so we do have something for snow as well, yeah. Okay. Kind of the same effect, but differently colored.
Yeah.
But that's all taken part of as well.
Okay. The ground deformation, will the time of year affect? So like in the wintertime, when it's cold, the ground's hard, will it deform less than in the summertime, for example?
Yeah, so we have like a couple parameters we can control based on the, also on the wetness, right? We can make it softer as well.
Okay. And the sticky mud on tires that unlike that reduces when driving, does it make your vehicle heavier? Does it slow you down a little bit, or is it just visual?
At the moment it's just visual, but of course it's open to add whatever effect as well. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
When things get wet, like when it rains and you get like the roadways that gets wet and everything like that, does it just become dry after it stops raining, or does it take time for it to dry? Like, will it still have the wet look for a while?
It takes a while until it gets drier, so it fades out over time, yeah.
Okay.
Back to ground deformation. I know we talked about it for tyres and things like that. Anything else? Field, if you are ploughing or digging or anything like that, is there any additional kind of level?
There's no kind of digging with like an excavator or so, but the gameplay can control some certain effects of the ground deformation as well. So it's not just like directly physics driven; it can also be changed by the gameplay code as well.
Okay, very cool.
Does it do all of the ground textures, so like gravel, dirt, fields? Do they all behave the same? Or they all behave a little differently when deformation?
So the ground deformation basically works all over the world, right?
Okay.
It's not just limited to the fields.
Okay.
But each basically ground type can control how much it can deform and how easily it's going to be deforming.
Okay, nice.
So of course, like if you have like an asphalt area, so it's not going to deform at all.
Yeah.
And then you might have gravel just a little bit, and then yeah.
And is the ground, so for like the vegetable ridges, is that now done by the ground deformation, or is that still done by displacement mapping? Is it bridge too?
Well, basically the displacement mapping and the ground deformation is kind of the same, right? So
Okay.
we're using we're dynamically generating the displacement mapping information. So kind of those ridges is part of the displacement mapping of the field texture, but after driving over it with a tractor, so you can dynamically change those areas.
How long does it stay after it's... So if you've driven a tractor through a ploughed field like the photo, the screenshot, how long before that goes away? Does that change if it rains? Does it slowly disappear?
Well, at the moment, the ground deformation doesn't go away automatically.
Okay.
Except for memory reasons, right? We cannot store all that information for the whole world, so there's a certain memory budget, and similar to the tire tracks we had or so.
After time,
Right,
just
so at some point, some of the information is discarded, but it's not kind of an automatic thing over time or so.
Okay.
Also, one more question.
Yeah, sure.
We saw the tire tracks going through the plowed field. If you plow that field up again or seed it, do those go away then after you've gone back over them?
Yeah, so the plowing would basically reset everything to the texture information, yeah.
As you cross it though, so as you cross it, would cut through it, or would it just disappear? So if the tracks are going this way and you're ploughing this way, you would just get one plough mark through the tracks?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Crossover. Yeah. With the crop texture's a lot bigger texture density, will that mean sort of driving through a crop and crop destruction will mean narrower tracks as a result? Because at the moment you drive through something and the track might be twice as wide as the tyre.
No, the information for the foliage itself is still with the same density as we had, yeah.
Right.
So basically, moving
same
or not
functions,
is
yeah.
going to be the same, yes.
And that is it. I want to thank Stefan Morris, Florian, and Stefan Geiger for taking the time to talk to the English content creators to tell us about Farming Simulator 25 and tell us things that we didn't already know and maybe clarify a few things. I hope this helped you guys out, and I hope it answered a lot of the questions that you have, but I'm sure you still have more. So what I need you to do is go down in the comment section below and let me know any more questions that you have that have not been answered yet in any of the videos. I'll do my best to get a hold of Giant Software, ask them these questions, and hey, we'll see what happens with it. Nonetheless, hope you have a great day. Have an awesome, awesome day, and we'll see you later.